Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the postseason of the SpyParty Major League. My name is Taboshi. I'm joined today by Corvus Mallory.
Hey everyone, so happy to be here. Welcome to the postseason.
And we have Nebula as our host and observer. The match we've got for you today is the Grandmaster promotion match between Pofke and C-Rams, where the winner will get to play in the highest division in the league next season.
Yeah, both of these players, of course, coming to this league with aspirations of moving up. I think, of course, for Pofke, it's all about maintaining this spot. But C-Rams is this hungry young player who's duking it out for a chance to play with the very, very highest tier Spy Party players we have in the community.
To be fair, not to say that the Grandmaster players aren't very much up there.
Absolutely. So these two players, of course, will be playing in the promotion match. It will be a best of 18. So first player to 10 will take the match, and then we'll also have overtime. If we go to 9-9, we'll be doing a couple of singles until one player runs away with a double kill. But Taboshi, I think maybe we should spend a minute before we get into the matches talking about these two players, and we can probably start off with Pofke. Pofke, of course, a veteran of the scene, made a huge name for himself in the SpyParty competitive league that preceded this league. Made some deep runs, of course, in Winter Cup, very famously. And then I think if we think about Pofke's style, Pofke has been known during his career as an absolutely suffocating sniper. I mean, if you think of some of the players that have come up in the more recent times, players like Rav, players like Opie Wrights, players that try to just suffocate you on the sniper side. Pofke, when he was at his peak and most active, had one of the highest sniper win rates in the community. And while he's been absent from competitive play for a short while, I think his record in the SpyParty Major League has made it clear that he's still here to play and he still has a lot of that skill. If you look at his venue selection, I think a lot of that bears out. You see his sniper win rate, 66%, much higher than the spy win rate. If you look at the venues here, Pofke excels on these venues like Gallery, Ballroom, Aquarium, where I feel like the venues are very sniper skill testing. Compare that to venues like Balcony or Pub, where I think Pofke doesn't get to employ his sniper style, and that's why you see those in the most disliked. So lots to play here for Pofke, of course, representing the twin character choice as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Pofke has been around this community for a very long time, and even though they've taken a little bit of a break from competitive play lately. We're very happy to have them back, and even though things didn't quite work out for them in the Grandmaster League, likely due to having slowed down a little bit as far as SpyParty is concerned, they are still very, very much a big player.
And that, of course, leads us to C-Rams, who is a very different breed of player. C-Rams, a much more recent joiner to the community than Pofke, although he's been around for a while. Kind of made a big splash onto the community with a very deep run in Winter Cup. I think coming out of the gate, surprising a lot of people. And look at this record in SpyParty Major League. I mean, 9-6 over Martini, 9-6 over Zero Doom, 9-7 over Shep. Just a drop set to Adafayesh and to Damp Squib. So really fantastic record here. Also, of course, seeing a lot of success on the sniper side, as is common at this level. I think when we think about C-Rams, and we saw this in Winter Cup, we saw this in the SpyParty Masters Championship, C-Rams is a very research-focused player. It allows him to take some really uncanny shots on the sniper side just because he knows so much about what he's looking for. C-Ram's famous for doing hours and hours and hours of research on his opponents and using it to great effect. And of course, looking at the venue selections here, we get a little hint of what C-Rams is not really a fan of. It's Redwoods. I wonder if we'll see that reflected in the draft today. But liking, I think, a big variety of venues. Library, Courtyard, and Modern really allow different styles of play, both on the spy and sniper side. But I think looking at both of these players, the order of the day really is going to be who can get those spy wins through, who can lock down the sniper side, and will it be, these established players with a long record, or will it be the up and coming Canadian who's able to crack the code on Pofke? The only way to know is to get into the games, and the only way to get into the games is to get into the draft. So we can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to keep you in suspense. C-Rams, in fact, has banned Redwoods. Pofke, in fact, has banned Balcony. Neither player has utilized a restrict, which leads us into doubled Courtyard, doubled Ballroom, singled Library, Gallery, Tayen, Modern, and Pofke, as the higher seed player, gets the last single of Veranda.
So yeah, the bans are pretty much exactly what we expected them to be. Interesting that both players declined to restrict a venue, though.
Yeah, I think we saw that a bit in these draft styles. Players not wanting to give away information, not wanting to kind of try to play the mind game of, do I restrict something I don't want picked? Do I restrict something I want my opponent to try to pick into? I think these players are excellent. They're probably comfortable playing on just about any venue, maybe aside from Redwoods and Balcony from Pofke's side. So I think that you could drop them into pretty much any SpyParty game, and they're going to do a fantastic job. And I think we're going to see that now as we get into the first game, which is going to be Courtyard.
Let's not delay any longer. We've got Pofke starting things out on the spy side as Duke versus the sniper of C-Rams. Let's get this first game underway in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Pofke playing on Courtyard 4 of 7. Going to be starting off in an empty conversation circle. Our seduction target walked right past us. We also have a drink in hand, so there's no pearling opportunity. We're just going to sit here for a while, finish that drink, and keep an eye on the party to see what our next move will be. And it looks like it will be joining our seduction target.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be 33%, not quite directly next to the seduction target, but 33% is still very much in range of a 3 flirt on white tests. You just got to get at least a little bit closer on one of the 2 next flirts, which shouldn't be difficult to do. A green test from the time at the window there. It's nice to see that happening early on in a set like this, because it means it's something that the sniper is going to have to watch out for the entire rest of the match.
Yeah, and look at this. Pofke's being very active, going from conversation circle to window to conversation circle, back in conversation with the seduction target. And here comes another flirt. It's another white test for 67%. Pofke's going to be sitting in this conversation now for a while. We have time on the back of that time ad as Toby's going around. A lot of attention being paid by C-Rams to the waiter, trying to keep an eye open for anything that's happening here. But Pofke looks like may just be timer flirting this.
Yeah, this has been a very by-the-book type of spy game so far. This is the sort of thing that snipers are expecting to see and expecting to be watching out for. So we'll see if Pofke does anything to mix it up later on. The time ad is certainly going to give them a few more opportunities to do that sort of thing. But for now, it's just very standard, getting our flirt done, doing timer flirt stuff, waiting to see if we can find a good contact, and going to statues as late as possible. Here's the flirt coming off, so that's 1 mission completion. We've got 3 to go.
Yeah, that's right. And we have a lot of highlights wandering around this party. Lots of characters have been to statues. C-Rams is having to track quite a bit, and we are probably not on his radar at all at this point. There's so much going on, and we've joined conversation with a double agent, so a contact could be coming shortly. The conversation circles are looking pretty good. Pofke keeping an eye open. Here comes the double agent. Really pretty good contact.
Unfortunately, one of the very few people out of conversation was the suspected double agent, so we've only got 1 conversation full of real contactors right now. That being said, basically everybody in the conversations during that, and we've got a safety off on Seek.
Yeah, safety off onto Sick and onto Twin. That could be rough for C-Rams. Pofke maybe starting off with a very slow game here. We see the double zoom in onto Sick taking the drink. And if Pofke is starting off with something slow, he's really hoping for a shot. Now going into statues, I take it all back. We're going to have 3 missions done on Courtyard with a minute on the clock. This is very Spy-like. And the question is, how are we going to get that 4th mission through? Or are we...
It's just going to be a swap! It's just a white swap, straight up! I think he was trying to... Based on the timing of it, it looked like he was trying to pretend it was a green swap. It's not going to work! C-Rams takes the shot and takes the first game.
Yeah, nice try there by Pofke, and good pickup from C-Rams. There's so much to be looking at that point in the game. But unfortunately, the last person there was Smallman, who was a lowlight, so no frame coming off for Pofke, and C-Rams taking a couple seconds to just to confirm, yes, I want to take a shot here, but does get that confirmation, and C-Rams picks up the first sniper game on Courtyard.
It's always difficult to find a way to get that last hard tell through when you do this sort of orthodox spy play on this venue. That said, C-Rams was able to get it done from the sniper side and is now in the spy shoes versus Pofke's sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
C-Ram's going to start off here playing as Red Dress, taking a long hike around this venue and already highlight? Excuse me? No, this is not fair.
That is a very unusual highlight. It's possible that was just for that very long, unusual path at the start, but no, I think it was some sort of tracking for the time of chaos, because we're back down to neutral light. We've gotten 51% on the flirt, getting nice and close to our seduction target in conversation here. It was a long way in, but it doesn't look like it's gained us too much heat in the long run.
Pofke is absolutely the kind of player that could be noticing those things, and even though that highlight has come back down, I don't think it was just a misclick here. So a little bit of extra suspicion maybe onto C-Rams as we break animation, I believe, leaving that conversation, something that C-Rams has been known to do from time to time. We enter this conversation, but no, the seduction target walks away mid-seduction. We will not be getting a 2 flirt, although we still could get 2 greens. C-Rams being very aggressive. I think we're going to continue to chase down missions with only 2 minutes left on the clock. It's time for us to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Chases down the seduction target pretty quickly, hits the green test on the flirt, and takes the contact here. So we've got 2 minutes left to play, a statue visit, and a hard tell left to go. This is a pretty quick spy game so far, all things considered.
It is a pretty quick spy game, but Courtyard's that venue where you have to do it, because even though our pace has been very, very quick, as we are at statues right now, we still only have a minute and a half left on the clock, because the Courtyard clock is really not very pleasant if you haven't done a time ad. That's 1 inspect done. That's the second inspect done. And another swap! It's a green this time. So it's not exactly the same trick. Have we been noticed that statues were walking away now? Pofke must know that we were there. And yeah, it's just a question of who's going to pick up the statue.
He definitely made it around in time to at least see us exiting that statue. It's a lowlit who picks it up. We might not be paying a lot of attention to this. It's on camera now. Does Pofke know where that came from? It doesn't look like they do. It's a fake contact to distract, but it's not even necessary in the end. C-Ram is able to get one through on their first spy game.
Amazing. I don't know if the lowlight picks it up, the banana bread to distract. It doesn't make any sense why there's a banana bread there. Pofke trying to figure it out. I don't know if the swap was actually noticed, but the camera pause makes it suggest that it was. C-Rams almost got that swap off camera as well. Hard to know exactly what it was that pushed that spy win through, but C-Rams opens up with a very strong 2-0 over Pofke.
And keep in mind, we expect both of these players to be very strong on their sniper sides, to be very good at holding serve. So getting a spy win through this early could have pretty massive implications for the rest of the match. But we do still have 2 games of Courtyard left to play. It's Pofke back on the spy side to see if they can strike back early in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Pofke going to be stopping here for just a minute. Not exactly sure that was justified, but it does look very AI-like, so kind of fun. We will pick up a flirt, start things off. 3 minutes on the clock, no immediate time ad here from Pofke. And another white test. We have not seen Pofke have the same green rate that C-Rams has had so far. We'll have to see if that continues.
And in the time of chaos, it's very easy to not catch stuff like that or attribute it to just there's something crazy going on with the pathing, because there's just so much to watch for the sniper during the time of chaos like that, so that Pofke almost certainly isn't going to gain any extra suspicion for it, especially so early on. We do have a fingerprint off of this drink, though.
Satisfied to sit here and timer flirt after getting the print off of that drink. We requested it specifically. And the ambassador taking some weird paths around this conversation. We go for the bug. We go for the bug. It's so hidden. Oh,
that
there's
is
so much
such
cover
a
from that
good
conversation.
bug.
That's lovely to see. And Pofke now in a very strong position with a drink print and a very well concealed bug. I think Pofke may be trying to answer back with a spy win of his own after CRAM's fantastic spy win on the previous round. This is going to be a very, very hard shot.
That is such a brilliant opportunistic bug. The ambassador just sort of bouncing around, getting caught on the pathing behind, and we're able to get off the bug super cleanly.
No, we can't finish. Oh, sorry, we are finished. We are finished just before the suction target leaves. We get it off, and now we just need one more print and a contact. Pofke's not going to have to go to statues unless the ambassador goes to statues, and we can finish off with silent game. Both good options, but we do need the ambassador to move, and with a drink in his hand, it's going to be tough to get another print off.
So bug done, flirt done, minute and 15 left to play, but we already have the hardtail in our pocket, so the timer is not nearly as much of a concern as it would otherwise be. We could easily just ignore the second print here, go to the statues for the inspects, pick up a contact, and call it done.
Yeah, that's really not a bad call, given that the bug was so good. We may not want to draw attention to ourselves by trying to force these prints with under a minute on the clock. We can play a very standard game, but Pofke's not interested. Wait and see what the ambassador does. That briefcase is available to us, and we will go for it. That's going to be Pofke's plan. Go for this case, and then we have the option of either a statueless or silent game. Clock is running down, so I'm hoping that it'll be a contact.
Well, that's print done. 30 seconds left to play. Both final missions are fairly easily available. It's very hard to shoot a character who hasn't been to statues. The contact comes off. It's hard to see CRAMs taking this shot. They do take one, but it's not the right one. And Pofke is able to answer back from the spy side right away.
Yeah, Boots, I think, if I remember correctly, was in that mess with the ambassador. Got highlit, maybe for some kind of weird bouncy bug or something. Or someone was. Whatever the case, it's not the right shot. And CRAMS drops another sniper game, allowing Pofke to come back and break serve in return. We're going into the last Courtyard game with a real chance to come out of it with a 2-2 score.
Absolutely. CRAMS back on the spy side, Pofke on the sniper, which theoretically is the preferred side. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Of course, lots of discussion in the community around whether standard Courtyard is spy or sniper sided.
2 time ads!
3 time ads!
1 green, 1 white.
Okay, this is fine. Everything is fine. We're going to stick to 2. CRAM's not going completely off the rails. But now Pofke this is going to be a test. This is going to be a test. And honestly, I think this is the kind of test that Pofke is well suited for. Can you control this party for 4 minutes and be certain that you've got it right? You know, this is the kind of thing that gets into match strategy, because you've got a long set here. It's a best of 18. As much fatigue as you can put onto the sniper. Maybe CRAMS is saying, you know what, I don't think I'm going to win a spy game on Courtyard, but I'm going to make Pofke work as hard as possible to prevent it. You just sit here and time out for 4 minutes and make Pofke spend that time trying to control a Courtyard party.
Absolutely. We are in conversation with our seduction target, picking up flirts slowly but surely. First a green, now a white, brings us up to 70% there. But that's really not the story of this game. It's going to be a slow game from CRAMS on the spy side, just hanging out and slowly gathering progress while staying under the radar. The big story about this one is how is Pofke going to react to needing to control this party for so long?
Yeah, and CRAMS, exactly as you said, is taking this very slow. We're just going to timer flirt this. We're going to wait in this conversation. It's very full. I would like to see some contacts come out, because this looks like a really good time for it. Well, it was.
Yeah, a few people starting to move around now, but that's the flirt getting done, barely in time before the seduction target steps away, but the flirt is indeed done. I imagine C-Rams just doesn't want to give Pofke any free information without getting anything for it in return, and without the double agent in this conversation, there's not a huge amount of incentive to take that contact. Now we step over to the conversation with the double agent in it, so fair game now.
Yeah, we've got 2, 3 people out, and here comes the contact.
Banana bread.
Oh no, the double agent leaves. It's gonna be a fake,
Banana
and
bread.
it's a really punishing one. And we do another? Excuse me? My sound is messing up here, but at any rate, we've noticed Pofke not taking all available lowlights for banana breads before. It seems to be maybe the case here as well. But Serums gets away from it without a lot of trouble. The problem is the time has actually ticked down, and we are starting to be behind the curve.
Back into conversation with the double agent now. Hopefully the third time's the charm. We're under 2 minutes to play now.
T-Ram's just sitting here, just waiting.
Banana
Here
bread.
comes a real contact. It will knock out Smallman and Wheels. But okay, that is our second mission done. Girls gets a highlight. And again, we see this behavior from Pofke not wanting to be aggressive with the banana bread lowlights. T-Ram's down to 1.5 minutes on the clock. Suddenly, all that time that we earned has been earned away. We've earned a lot of lowlights as well, which means that all that time that Pofke's had to control those players is going to be a little bit for waste. We finally go into statues, earning the highlight. But now, C-Ram's in a little bit of a tight spot.
Yep, suddenly we're more or less back on schedule for a regular, boring spy game of Courtyard. C-Rams has gotten the 3 soft tells done, has gotten highlight for statues, and needs to find a hard tell. This is pretty standard fare on Courtyard.
Yeah, welcome outside, everybody. Well, 50 seconds left. Prince probably not an option. We haven't seen either of these players go for Purloin yet. Both of them have tried swap, but Toby's being watched very carefully. Honestly, if I'm serious here, I might want to push the swap button again. Just do it on the opposite side from Toby. 37 seconds left on the clock. Starting to run down, starting to be a problem. What is C-Ram's plan? C-Ram's not really looking around. Here comes the offer, and it will be the Purloin. Of course it's green. C-Ram's green rate very, very high in this match so far, and drink's probably gonna be taken pretty quickly. I think Pofke has a decent chance of taking this shot.
There's no reject chain at all. We see the list fade, the shot comes off, and Pofke is absolutely on top of it.
Yeah, good shot from Pofke there. A nice try, I think, from C-Rams, but we come out of Courtyard 2-2, the par for the course. But boy, Pofke did have to play a really long game there, 4.5 minutes. And that's not going to make things any easier as we head into Ballroom 4 of 8.
That said, Pofke absolutely proved themselves up to the challenge. Now we head into Ballroom, as you said. Pofke on the spy side versus C-Ram's sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, Pofke playing here as Orange Sari. Would love to see a bug. We saw Pofke's bug on Courtyard was absolutely fantastic. A little bit of a trouble getting onto this window pad, but everything is fine. Everything is fine.
As long as it looks like a pad, the sniper can't tell. They can't see those lines on the ground.
All right, well, we head into conversation very respectfully with our seduction target. We're actually closer to Twin than we are to Smallman, and a fake contact coming off. That's very interesting.
That might have been just some weirdness with the action priorities as the ambassador walked up near us to possibly trigger a reverse drive-by bug.
Yeah, difficult. It's a shame there if it's the case for Pofke, but all right, no problem. We got one flirt off.
Speaking of bugs, we got one on the way through. Into the green bookcase we go. Was C-Rams on top of it? Yes, they were. The shot comes off, and that was a quick one.
Fantastic rotation here from C-Rams. As soon as the ambassador gets in that spot, we're angling to the right. We're zooming in on Sari going past the ambassador. Clean as you like. C-Rams is able to take that shot. And okay, not gonna get that bug past C-Rams. That the one on Courtyard, absolutely. This one, C-Rams is saying, no. You're gonna have to do better than that, Pofke, if you want to get that past.
Very good awareness of the ambassador putting themselves in a very dangerous position. They got that zoom in very quickly once the ambassador lined up there, and it was just in time. C-Rams now stepping into the spiral versus Pofke's sniper on Ballroom in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, and C-Rams playing as Disney, maybe not going to be going for quite the same kind of bug, but we do manage to path onto the window pad successfully. Very nice, C-Rams. And guess what? It's going to be a time ad. So C-Rams has been pushing this pretty hard after Pofke did a time ad in his first game. And look at this laser. Yep, there's the highlight. Very subtle highlight onto Disney. Pofke knows what's up.
Yeah, when you get stealth highlight like that, that means you are public enemy number one in the eyes of the sniper. I think C-Rams has finally gotten caught for these time ads. A weird little reverse drive-by bug attempt actually does wind up taking, and I don't think Pofke is any the wiser, so that's hardtail done already.
This is where the game gets weird, right? Because your highlight as almost certainly like, okay, I know this is the spy, I'm gonna wait for confirmation and then shoot. But then you get this bug pass, which maybe Pofke hasn't seen. Maybe he's able to credit it because the master was in the area. But now things can get very weird if Pofke is trying to be disciplined but has a lot of suspicion. And on the same time, you have a hardtail that may not have been seen. So we'll have to see what happens. 3 minutes left in the game on the back of that time ad. C-Rams with one hardtail done, 45% flirt now after a green flirt. And the double agent joins our conversation. I think C-Rams is going to pull this contact pretty soon. Okay, I take it back. We're going to go for the case.
I would have said the same thing, but it looks like we're just going to a dead briefcase to try to shed a little bit of suspicion, or possibly trying to get a fingerprint and not realizing it was a dead briefcase.
Entering conversation with an SDA over on this side. Toby is here. C-Ram's going for a Purloin to be extremely aggressive. So we finish off this... no, we don't finish off the drink. We just take a sip. So no Purloin coming. I think at this point we should be focused on finishing flirt. We should focus on getting a good contact. We have this bug in hand. And Pofke has not indicated any particular desire to shoot us.
Keep in mind, C-Rams still has to find one mission after picking up these last two soft tells. The flirt we can assume is going to get done. The contact we assume is going to get done. Where's the last mission going to come from? I'm not sure we can survive a visit center statues right now.
Another green test from C-Rams. Big difference, I think, between C-Ram's green rate and Pofke. Pofke historically has had one of the lower green rates in the community, but backs it up with an absolutely amazing sniper, and that's what we're looking to see in this game. That's contact done, so that's 2.5 missions. We'll have the flirt done as soon as we like. But I think you're right, Toba. I mean, where are we going for our 4th mission? Everything smells like death.
Only 2 lowlights off of the contact, but we've got almost half the party low-lit anyways.
Another very dangerous animation break from C-Rams. It's not the kind of thing you have to worry about in the more intermediate levels of SpyParty, but as C-Rams climbs this ladder and attempts to break into Grandmaster, it is something that plagues his play every now and then. There's flirt done. That's 3 missions. Minute on the clock. I feel like we're playing Courtyard at this point.
Yeah, it almost feels like that. This sometimes is a position you wind up in on Ballroom, but usually having gotten the bug done so cleanly is a fairly easy win from the spy side. You can just sort of drop into center statues, and that alone is not enough to take a shot off. But when you already have this much suspicion, suddenly that doesn't look like such a viable option. And C-Rams, I think, knows they have a lot of heat because they are not going to those statues. 30 seconds left to play. We're into the beep beeps now. Looks like it's going to be a Purloin. There it is. It is a green test. This is probably going to hang at 0 for a little bit unless the suspected double agent takes it right here and now. Indeed, they do. We have a fake contact to try to distract, but it does not distract enough. Pofke takes the shot and holds serve.
I'm to be honest, I don't like that fake contact just because we did the exact same thing on Courtyard to distract from the swap. I feel like there maybe you hold the fake contact, you just try to sit there, nerves of steel. Really bad luck, of course, also for C-Rams that the drink chain reset right before us and was taken by a low-light cast member right after us. That's really not what you want to see. But But good job from Pofke being able to take that shot, perhaps even without the right level of threat on Disney there at the end. There was enough suspicion to confirm a shot onto Disney.
That being said, to go back to your earlier point, C-Rams is leaning into their usual patterns. They did the early time ad and got caught for it. They tried to distract with the fake contact at the end. It didn't work. It looks like Pofke is catching wise to the shenanigans of C-Rams' spy.
We'll
see if they're able to...
Pofke, after catching on all those sniper facts, is going to be coming into the spy side of Ballroom, playing as Cowboy, looking to try to break serve and maybe take a lead in this set for what I believe would be the first time. But let's see how it turns out in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Pofke again just standing still and doing a white purloin out in the middle of nowhere.
It's a white purloin in the middle of nowhere off the top of the game.
He can't keep getting away with this. No, we're looking
That's
at
not
the
a
drink.
pad. We're going to have to switch here.
What do we do here? What's the reaction going to be from C-Rams? C-Rams looks dazed and confused, not sure what to do, and Pofke's gotten away with this. A lot of lowlights are coming off, but wow, what a play from Pofke to open up this game.
I agree. It was a great play from Pofke, but I think C-Rams is doing a very good job of reacting to it. They're not panicking. They're not trying to take a shot. They're just looking at the people they know didn't take a drink and low-lighting them. Look at this situation now. We are down to 5 cast members who could be the spy at this point. This was a very good reaction from C-Rams.
Yeah, fantastic. And okay, we see the sniper shake of frustration, but even still, a really good job controlling this party in a difficult spot. Now, Pofke is up to a white test on the flirt. So we've got a white test purloin, a white test flirt. Pofke able to push through spy wins. Even with that, it's not necessarily such a big problem if your game plan is well suited for it. 2 minutes 14 on the clock. Smallman getting safety off. I think Smallman might be in a lot of trouble here, if I'm honest.
I mean, when you have a very suspicious person who is that small, they're going to be a huge threat no matter what the situation is with the rest of the party. Too. And he's taking a print.
Yeah, I think C-Rams seems tunneled at this point as Pofke picks up another flirt, going up to 85%. It's not actually easy for Pofke to finish. We're kind of in a similar situation to where we were in the previous game, where we had that really early hardtail come off and it wasn't necessarily really tracked. But Pofke still only has 90 seconds to finish this, and if Smallman doesn't manage to just get himself shot, it's not clear that Pofke's going to have such an easy time getting a mission win through.
Absolutely. It's a very similar situation to last time. We have a hardtail done. We should be able to get the flirt done without any issue. We should be able to get the contact done without any issue, but we still have a minute to get another hardtail or a center statue visit away. And it doesn't look like that's necessarily going to be the easiest thing to get away with. There's the flirt done. Stepping into conversation with the double agent here. This should be the contact coming away in just a few moments. But we are down to 50 seconds to play here.
It's real for Smallman. It's real for us and for Teal. And Pofke knows that time is a problem. He's been very active, very mobile. And now...
Center statues!
No, it's side. Side statues here from Pofke with 32 seconds left. Is this going to be another swap? There's a print here, but that's only going to be one. It is the swap. The swap is green. We have a green swap from Pofke. One cycle, down goes the statue. C-Ram's clearly looking for the swap, but no swap visible. And now there's so many lowlights in this party that can pick up that statue. But it's a highlight. A highlight goes. A highlight goes.
Oh, man.
Fade. It's all down to this fade, but we're trying to keep an eye on Smallman at the same time. 8 seconds.
There is going to be a little bit of overtime. There's the swap.
Blocks it. We need to take a shot right now.
Does he know which one to shoot? I think he does. The shot comes off, and C-Rams, in a very dangerous end-of-game situation, manages to find the right shot.
What a nice job there from C-Rams. Gets off the Smallman tunnel, picks up the right swap off of the highlight going. What are the odds that a highlight goes for that swap? It has to be like 20% or something like that. Really nice job there from C-Rams, and a really cool gameplay by Pofke as well, to be fair. That early purloin, gets it off clean, and just doesn't have time at the end of the game to finish the game off. and that is going to be C-Rams holding serve on Ballroom.
A brilliant finish from C-Rams in a game that looked dangerous for both players and multiple different points throughout. But C-Rams now on the spy side, Pofke on the sniper. Last game of Ballroom in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
C-Rams has a chance to go up out of the doubles if he's able to win this game. And it's going to be starting off at Books. We have not really seen these players really interact with Bookcase hardly at all. Of course, we saw Cowboy go to Bookcase after the Purloin last game, but that wasn't really to make mission progress. And C-Rams has taken this book away. Now, we were definitely seen over there, so C-Rams is going to have to let this book cook for quite some time. We're going to start off by going to conversation with our selection target to pick up a white flirt.
So 34% off of that first flirt and blue book in hand. It's not the fastest start we've seen, but having that book available to play with is certainly going to help.
2 minutes 40 on the clock, still plenty of time, and C-Rams I think is going to timer flirt this. We want to watch the rest of the party, want to look for opportunities for fake contacts, and we want to get another flirt done, and we want some time to let this book cook, so no concerns here with timer flirting at least once, except for when your selection target walks away and you have to come up with a new plan.
Well, new plan might have just walked into the green bookcase. There's going to be a fingerprint at the green books at this point, and we've got the briefcase there as well. So we might be able to do some pretty extreme shenaniganry over there if we wanted to try something, but it looks like we don't. We're just heading over to the seduction target and the double agent, picking up the flirt first to bring us up to 85%, and possibly, maybe even picking up a contact.
Our seduction target will stay in conversation with us, and yes, we will take the contact. We'll knock out 4 people, and Pofke does take all the lowlights. But C-Rams has held this book for a long, long time, and it looks like we're just going to put it back in blue.
Animation transfer, though. It's hard to cover when you just bring the book back to where it came from, because that's usually when you breathe a sigh of relief that you're able to stop looking at that book.
Yeah, difficult to get a white animation past Pofke, but we had a lot of cover there. There's someone else at Books. Problem is the time. We really don't have it. We have 1:09 left on the clock as we put this book back. We haven't finished Flirt. We don't have the second half of animation, which is going to be at the more difficult bookcase. And we still don't have a 4th mission. So I'm very, very worried here about C-Rams, who is going to an empty conversation. We don't have time for this, C-Rams. We have to move. We have 50 seconds left, and you have 1 mission done.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy to get the flirt done. It should be pretty easy to get the transfer microfilm done, but those things do still take time. We miss the race on the briefcase, which is a very good thing because we don't have a print yet. 30 seconds to play. We've got the flirt done, but we're not into green bookcases yet. And even if we get there, we still need to finish another mission besides.
This is
20 seconds.
Really rough. Yes, we get the print off of green. We're going to go for the white transfer. It's going to be seen. C-Rams, not enough time for the end of that game. And we come out of the doubles with a 4-4 tie.
That is sort of the scoreline we expected to see coming out of the doubles. But man, oh man, the way we got there was not what we saw coming.
No, absolutely not. Both of these players have come out with really explosive and really imaginative spy plays. You love to see it. But it's not going to get any easier for our spies because we are headed to Library 5 of 8. Difficult venue for any spy to push something through. And at this level, almost impossible. But Pofke is going to give it a good try playing as Smallman in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And as powerful a character as Smallman is, this is not one of the venues that they are at their strongest because it's just not that deep a venue. There's not a whole lot of cover that you can take behind the people of the conversations. You can still certainly get into some cheeky spots, but it's certainly not as powerful as places like Gallery.
All right, well, we're at Blue Bookcase, and all we're going to get here is the flirt. So no shenanigans with the book of any kind as we walk clear across the venue, headed for, I suppose, statues, because there's nothing else over here, Pofke, unless you're planning to do some kind of timeout off camera.
Always nice getting that first flirt, but the fact that we went to bookcases to get it makes me kind of wish that we at least took out that blue book to see if we can get anything done with it. Into side statues we go to pick up our first pair of inspects, and a highlight for our troubles as well, it seems.
Yeah, that highlight is rough. I mean, maybe we were hoping to get something done off screen. C-Rams is not going to let it happen. C-Rams, I think, very comfortable here on Library, honestly. And with 3 minutes 20, not a lot of options.
Yeah, this looks very much to me like C-Rams is simply using highlights to track inspects, which is a fairly standard thing that people do. So this highlight isn't a huge deal, but it is going to limit our options a little bit moving forward.
C-Rams spent a lot of time staring at Cowboy's backside, trying to get a look at that statue. So I think the swap threat that these players have pushed on each other in all these earlier games is really getting to their snipers. They are being very, very attentive to swap. If Pofke or C-Ram starts to pick up on that, of course, opportunity for all kinds of mind games. But for now, Pofke playing a very, very slow game. 2 minutes 30 on the clock, no missions complete. As we go for this bug, it is off camera.
Yeah, completely off camera. C-Rams does swing back around to take a look, but too late. The bug had already come and gone. So that's one hard tell done. Second flirt comes off just now, up to 68%. But the timer is still a problem. This is a 5 of 8 setup. So we've got one mission done and progress on 2 more. But that's not that much progress.
Playing with laser lag on Library, always a very dangerous game. We will be offered a drink. The offer was seen, and we just go ahead and reject it. So nothing happening there. Minute 52 on the clock. We're looking at our seduction target in a very full conversation. Pofke not sure he's going to be able to get in there. So walking back off to the right side of the venue, there's still nothing here aside from a print and the double agent.
Banana bread.
And the double agent is where we're headed. There's the contact coming off. Let's off 4, 5 lowlights. And we had a very brief little safety off there.
Yeah, we did. C-Ram's doing a good job taking all those lowlights across the Library venue. Very assertive, very certain. And Pofke will come in for his last flirt. Timer is still kind of rough. Smallman is not a good character for an inspect swap finish.
No, he's not, but I think that's the opportunity we find ourselves with. Minute and 3 left to play, 1 inspect to go, and another mission besides. It feels like... It really does feel like an inspect swap, and here we go, into the side statues. Let's see what Pofke does with this.
Well, the inspect will come off first, and we may just be trusting the green swap. No, the statue goes back, so 40 seconds to find something. C-Rams checks for the swap, and we go to the other statue. Okay, sure, why not? Is this a frame?
That was a very fast swap. I think more than likely it wasn't a frame. It was just sort of hoping C-Rams was going to be caught up looking at things on the other end of the venue. It doesn't wind up happening. C-Rams takes the shot with relative ease.
I think that's right. Very, very glad to see that Red Dress did not manage to take that bullet for Smallman because it was very close. But yeah, I think that's gonna be an easy shot for C-Rams, especially given how much swap has been pushed so far in this set. Neither player is gonna want something like that to get past them. And now we have opportunity for C-Rams to close out this single, playing as Green Dress on Library in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So after that first double on I can't remember what the first venue was, but after that first double we had, it has been much more of the nice, slow, solid sniper play that we've been expecting from these two. There has certainly been some interesting ideas and creative maneuvers on the spy side, but after those first couple of games, nothing's been able to come through as of yet. So as of right now, it's really just trading back and forth from the sniper side as the spies fight to try to find a way through. 34% on the first flirt, and blue book in hand is how we're going to start this one off. Likely this is going to go back in green at some point.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Toe. I mean, we've seen basically the story of the doubles, I think, is bug good, swap bad. But CRAM's maybe going to be trying out microfilm. We saw CRAM's give it a shot on Ballroom. Didn't exactly work out, mostly for timing reasons, maybe. So library, plenty of time, but a lot of it has elapsed down to 3 minutes 30 with only a book and a flirt to show for it. And we can go back, pick up a second flirt, and then we put this back into green at some point. CRAM's still with a solid path to getting those 5 check. Well, there goes Alice.
Yep, unfortunately, Seduction Target steps away at a very inopportune moment. And luckily, we've still got a lot of time to play with, and CRAMs isn't going to stand on ceremony and hang around for too long. They're going to keep themselves moving. Unfortunately, Seduction Target went all the way to the other end, so CRAMs is just going to take a breather at the windows and wait for things to settle a bit more before they decide where to go next. It looks like it is going to be chasing down the Seduction Target. This will be our second flirt, but it's taken us a lot of time to get here. Green flirt brings us up to 79%, but we're already at about 2.5 minutes to play, and no mission completions as of yet.
I think at this point, I'd love to see CRAMs try for a purloin after returning this book. CRAMs has had a comparatively high green rate in this set. A good purloin chain on library. It's extremely difficult to track, very taxing for a sniper to track. And then we can go and do something else. We can try to pick up a bug if we see one. We can try to finish with an inspect swap, as much as that can be hard to do with this particular matchup. We have lots of options. We do not have a lot of options while we have a book in hand. You're seeing we're just sitting here, not making mission progress. If our hands were full, empty, we could at least be making mission progress instead of just waiting around. But no, we're going back to blue.
Putting this away in blue seems like a very bad idea after how long we've had this for. There's only 1 minute and 45 seconds left to play, and we have 0 out of 5 missions done. All we've got other than this book is 2 flirts.
There are some snipers who will credit you with a low light if you cooked a book for 3 minutes and then put it back correctly. I don't think Pofke is going to be one of them. Not really. So even though the laser hovers over us and CRAMs may wonder if he's low lit, I just don't think it's something you can expect. And now we've wasted so much time when we were not able to do other missions. Our seduction target is at bust. No chance there for a... I take it back. Takes away and giveth.
This seduction target's just really enjoying screwing with you. We've got a green purloin, though. So that's another mission done, but we still have 3 left to go once this takes. How is CRAMs going to get all this done? We do have a take on the purloin coming from Wheels there. I don't think Pofke's had a look at it yet. Now I think they may have seen it. Now they certainly have.
48 seconds to try to get this done. That even if that purloin is clean, CRAMs, I think just like the last Ballroom game, has just not left himself enough time. We have 38 seconds. We're walking clear across the venue to go into a center statue that's currently blocked by small men. We can't inspect swap here for the finish. This has to be an inspect swap into an... we get 1 print. We can get 1 print here.
Yeah, but we're down to 25 seconds. We're not going to have time to get this last print and another mission besides. It's going to have to be a swap. It's the only way forward. It is a green test, so that's something at least. But we have another mission to get. We have to just walk towards the ambassador, and it doesn't matter because we died.
What a weird shot from Pofke, but it's onto the spy, so you have to give credit for that. Maybe crediting us with a bug, maybe crediting us with a print, knowing that there was a print on that statue. It's absolutely a reasonable shot to take from the sniper side, and it's onto the spy, which means that Pofke is able to hold the draw on library, and we are 5-5 in this 18-game set.
Yeah, I suspect what that was is they thought maybe they had missed a print at some point because that was a print inspect swap statue, which is that's a very dangerous position for a person to be in at the end of a game.
All right, well, we are going to head into gallery.
Square at 5, gallery next, Pofke with the first spy game in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So if you're a spy in this set, I think the message is don't swap. Not good odds.
Not good. Yeah.
The double agent will wander back inside as the STA was already in this outside conversation. Pofke will go to it. There's nothing here for us. I'd love to see another time ad come up from Pofke because time ads have actually been really successful for these players. But no, we head back inside. 30 seconds burned off the clock with 0 progress so far. Ambassador leaving a print on that bird. Love to see that. Our seduction target and the double agent both in the back conversation. Pofke is going to come back here, try to find some value, but it's going to be very far away from red dress.
Yeah, this can be a very high value conversation. It's not going to be very high value flirts from this position. White test only brings us 24%. But with the double agent here as well, with Toby back here, there's absolutely a fair bit you can do.
All right, we pick up 24%. We are with the double agent. I think we should take this contact. If you let the gallery get below 2 minutes and you don't have a contact, the one you get may not be the one you want.
Banana bread.
There it goes. That's the contact taken. Will be 4 or so lowlights. And no
5 lowlights in the end. One, at least one extra one available, but it doesn't actually matter. Oh my god, the bug came off?
I didn't think. I mean, I thought, of course, we'll click the left. We'll click the button. Like, why not click the button? But that bug coming off leaves Pofke, just like that bug on Courtyard, in a really, really strong position.
That changes the entire complexion of this game. Pofke suddenly finds themselves in a very nice position. Back in the conversation with the seduction target, again in a bit of a weird spot for it. Green test leaves us at 64%, which is 2% off of where you want to be.
So Tobo, I'm thinking, we don't want to visit 2 different sets of statues in this game, right? Because that's really suspicious.
I'm not even sure we want to visit one set of statues at this point. I think we just take this flirt and, well, maybe
But we don't take the flirt. I can tell you that. ST bails on us. So we're going to have to wander back inside, kind of bouncing off the ambassador, and chase the ST all the way back to this conversation again. We're going to need to flirt this if we don't hit a green. Maybe even if we hit the green with this positioning.
Well, Pofke knows he's not in position to flirt without a green, so he gives it a little bit of extra room. Doesn't hit the green. I'm pretty sure if he did hit the green, that would have been just fine. He wasn't that far off, but 92% is where we stand right now with 1 minute and 8 seconds left to play. Where is this last mission going to come from? Is it going to be statues? Is it going to be prints? Prints is going to be difficult at this point as the timer ticks down past 1 minute. So it's probably not going to be that.
Hear me out. Could be swap.
Could be purloin as well. That's the flirt done. There's the purloin. It is a white test. That's the last mission. Gets a look at it. I think they saw that the list was gone. Do they take a shot and safety's off? Shot comes off. And C-Rams is able to find it at the last second of asking.
What a shot there from C-Rams. I mean, the bug is so good. I love this thing. There's no attention being paid by the sniper. We're looking outside. It's hard to see. It has a lot of cover. We're zoomed in on the outside conversation. You just cannot see this bug. But the white fade, it's so devastating. And that purloin, it leads to a bullet.
If that was a green test, I'm fairly confident that Pofke wins that game.
All right, well, pull out your action test practice scripts. Everybody go and do those 10,000 action tests. But in the meantime, B-Rams now with a chance to try to take a gallery win and take a lead in the set. Going to be playing as twin. Pofke needing to lock down the sniper side on his choice, by the way, I believe. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. And C-Rams heading into this back conversation. Nothing here for us immediately, but characters are still settling, so we need somewhere to wait and see where they go anyways, so no big problem there. suspect
This
it's a
back
blink.
conversation is often a very powerful place to hang out, but there's just not really much happening back here right now.
Yeah, there really isn't. Serums could go for something like an early purloin here. There's, it's been tough to track everything that Toby's been doing, but it looks like the chain will be reset, so probably not going to be happening. We'll head into books instead. Serums not had a lot of success with microfilm so far.
Not as of yet, but...
It's a red tap!
Oh, no! Oh, no! He bailed on the red to try to avoid that terrible animation, but wind up getting... Oh, what is happening? That's 2 red transfer attempts! Just take the book out. Just take the book. Okay, he's abandoned the microfilm. He's decided that this is a sign.
You know what? Sometimes you tell the game what you want to do. Sometimes the game tells you what you want to do. C-Rams just walks away and says, "You know what? I've got other plans."
C-Rams, you can tell by the camera movement that C-Rams is not a very happy camper right now for obvious reasons. I'm very surprised at the insistence on animation transfers.
Fair point. Yeah, we've seen C-Rams really lean into animation transfers, not tried a direct transfer, which is more of the meta, I think, in the most advanced players in the community. We will just reject this drink. We do have 34% on the flirt in this back conversation, but all those antics of bookcase have cost us a lot of time. We're down to 2 minutes on the clock with only 1 flirt and nothing else in this game.
Yeah, it's been a lot of weirdness that has burned a lot of time off of this clock. Now we're now into balcony areas of we need to be on top of getting this flirt done, but also we need to get 3 other missions done while we're at it, which is not going to be the easiest thing to do. C-Rams being aware of this is going to go put a bit more time on the clock, gets 2 green time ads done at the front windows, which is going to give them a lot more room to work.
We had a quick zoom out from Pofke just to check who was at window, but I'm not really sure if it really registered. So we were seen outside at window when that happened. But now we're basically back to most of a full gallery game, and we have managed to get up to 85% on the floor. So C-Ram's getting a second chance on life, and I don't really think Pofke has this time ad.
Getting a green test on that second flirt is very nice to see. It gives you a lot more leeway on the third one. So 2 minutes and 15 to play on the spy clock. But even with these flirts going off, there's just not that much progress.
C-Ram's going to step into statues. First time we've seen a statue visit on gallery after having watched close to 6 or 7 minutes of it. And it will just be a pair of inspects, I hope. And it looks like that is all it will be. Statue goes down. C-Rams has partial progress on 2 missions and just under 2 minutes on the clock as we go statue to statue.
That's pretty blatant getting this done, but we are able to get a print out of it, so that's certainly something. That's going to be the inspects done, 1 print in the pocket. We're almost done with the flirt as well, so suddenly we're in a much better situation time-wise. Let's put it that way.
You walk past that briefcase. I don't think that's really a very nice thing to do to the ambassador, who, by the way, left a print on the statue that we just visited. We could go to a 3rd statue visit, get that print, and get a swap, and finish that way with a silent game. Just saying.
I think that's probably a little bit too bold. The ambassador here is an interesting proposition, but not able to get anything out of it for probably good reasons.
We're into the slow beeps, so Pofke knows at this point that there was a time ad if he didn't before, but we're also down to 47 seconds for the spy. We still need another print. Another print may not be easy to find if we're not willing to go to that statue. And we are! We're going statue for a 3rd time. We do finally get the highlight.
Oh boy, here's the print.
Just swap it. Just swap
Please
it,
don't
C-Rams.
swap
What else
it.
are you going to do? What else are you going to do in this game, huh?
I don't know, but swap kills us. I'm fairly confident swap just kills us.
All right, well, C-Rams with 22 seconds is heading to this back conversation to do a purloin. Obviously, that is the play at this point. We're going to do a silent purloin game, and it's going to be a hung clock. There will almost certainly be overtime. Here comes the purloin. It's a very quick green. And the problem with the hung clock is that anyone who rejects after the hung clock doesn't count. Now, a very fast reject from Smallman. That's extremely good for us. I still think we're going to be the one. Another contact. Why do we do these?
I don't know.
Smallman's going to get shot. Or, excuse me, Smallman's not going to get shot. I think we are.
That was a white contact too, so we were talking during that.
Now we're just waiting.
And it doesn't matter how long this reject chain is at this point. The clock is already hanging.
Now, of course, always an option here is to go do something else while the clock hangs.
Or at least get the heck out of here and go out front or something like that, so you're not in this conversation with everybody else anymore.
Smallman's picking up a statue. This is...
Look at how long this reject chain is! If the timer was still going.
Oh, I know. Alright, well, Pofke's just sitting here waiting for the beeps to start.
I mean, I suppose this... There it is. There's the overtime.
And there's the shot.
Pofke on top of it.
I was starting to get a little worried when Pofke was just waiting there as the beeps were playing. Like, hey, buddy, you gotta shoot, remember? You had plenty of time to decide who to shoot.
He knew he had 10 seconds. It's fine.
Yeah, Pofke knew he had plenty of time. Hey, Nebula, can we see those? Can we see those microfilms again?
Oh my god, the microfilms. It was an unfortunate situation.
I just want to see them one more time. It's so rare that you get to see this animation.
And we get to see two of them back to back.
All right, well, that is the game, and that is us coming out with a 6-6 tie as we head into Tayen, which is CRAM's final pick. So remember, Pofke is the higher seed, so Pofke got to pick an extra single. So after Tayen will be Pofke's choices of Modar and Veranda. First to 10 is going to be the winner, or if we go 9-9, it'll be overtime. And Pofke, starting on the spy side of Tayen, playing as Disney in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And if one of these two players is going to sneak a spy win through, there's a good chance it's going to be on this venue. That said, we have that is book cheese without shoji cover. He just did it.
But Chobo, what spy would do that without shoji cover?
That is such a bold move. I love it so much. That's transfer microfilm in the books.
I love it. Okay, well, that is Pofke with a mission done, also with a first flirt for 34%. Hey, who cares about your action test rate when you just take a book and put it in the wrong bookcase in the first 10 seconds of the game, huh? So, really nice play here from Pofke, realizing that microfilm has not been something he's pushed on, realizing that Tayen is a great venue to do it, seeing the shoji set up and saying, you know what, no, I think this is the right play. And so gets the good spawn, gets the good book, gets the good mission count, still has plenty of time, down to 2 minutes 20, and can just play a very, very normal game here. Can go statue, flirt, contact, and try to pick up a very important spy win.
We could even just stay away from the statues and position ourselves to get one of these nice little bugs in the middle as the ambassador walks through. These can come off fairly cleanly and consistently if you position yourself in the right spot for them. But for now, it's just going to be the contact as we tick down past 2 minutes. 3 lowlights come out of it.
Here comes the ambassador. We do not want to be anywhere near him, so Pofke is going to very quickly head out and go into center statues. I think this makes a ton of sense. We're high-lit, but it's not going to be enough to take a shot onto us, and now we just need to flirt and contact. CRAM's in a really, really, really difficult spot at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Contact already done. Transfer already done. That's the inspects getting finished up.
The party?
Double 8, the freaking ambassador decided to be real dangerous again. But we were able to get away from there. Minute and 15 to play, and we just need to get this flirt done. Now, we're not in the best positioning for it. White test is going to make things a lot scarier. We're at 56%.
Yeah, we are the only highlight on this map, us and Cowboy, and then we've got 3 other suspects. So CRMs does have this party down to 5. by the way. So Pofke could. I don't want to say Pofke could still lose the spy game, but like Pofke could still lose the spy game.
Absolutely. That said, if they hit this green test, that's probably curtains. 40 seconds to play. Here comes the flirt. It's not green. It's just the white. The shot comes off anyways. And C-Rams is on top of it.
C-Rams knew. Somehow he knew. How do you find this shot? I guess we saw the book, even in Time of Chaos, with so much to look at. It is on Sniper Cam, and then we just waited for a shot, just the whole game.
Banana bread.
Remarkable. Okay, so C-Rams takes that sniper game on Tayen, tracks Disney out the whole game, and that means that and shoots for a flirt, by the way. Just gross. And now we're heading into C-Rams Tayen game. C-Rams going to be playing as Orange Sari, blending into the color scheme and the background. And Pofke trying to keep things equal on the sniper side. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
You know what I bet it was? I bet we were credited for the bug when the ambassador came in next to us at the bookcase. At the statue, I mean.
Smallman teasing us, almost gets in the conversation right next to us, then goes all the way across. C-Ram's not happy, but still will take that flirt. Still will get 37% because his green rate is really, really good. And boy, if you told me that coming into game 14, the score was 7-6, I would not think the set had gone the way that it has. But
yeah, absolutely.
C-Ram's going to timer flirt here, maybe.
Same Soji setup, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Nice and fair. Here comes the ambassador, comes right next to Smallman. So Smallman now has a million bugs of credit. We don't. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get any kind of bug there. The ambassador will walk away.
And either way, we're a little bit too exposed. Pofke, on this slight rake of an angle here, is not going to allow us to get an easy bug from this position.
Smallman not playing nice. First, jukes us out in the conversation positioning, and then leaves as we try to get our second flirt. So C-Ram's not happy about that. Gonna go rage swap into statues, hopefully. We go to side statues behind the shoji. We will pick up a print off of this and a couple of inspects as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, our selection target has been actively antagonistic this game. But that's a print and 2 inspects from that particular statue. We might be able to get a bug on the way through the back here. Indeed, he does go for it. That might have been a little bit early on the start of that. Might have given Pofke a small look into it, but it doesn't look like they caught anything. So that's the bug done pretty cleanly, it looks like.
I think at someone at Pofke's level is going to know, hey, I need to credit bug here just because it's Tayen and Sari took that path behind the Amba. It's such a classic bug situation. I'm not convinced that it's something that you could see, but I would be surprised if Pofke wasn't crediting bug there anyways. As we head into conversation with the double agent, and I think we'll take this pretty soon.
Yeah, one would have to assume. There's the contact coming off. Couple of lowlights coming out. Pretty good, all things considered, for C-Rams. 1:05 left to play, and we still have 2 inspects, a fingerprint, and 37% on the flirt. Ideally, we want to get this flirt done. This is a little bit weird that we only have the 1 flirt, but there's a green on the second to bring us up to 84%, and that will put us in a position where 1 more flirt, as long as it's not. No, even if it is literally the worst flirt in the game, that's still fine. It's fine.
Everything is fine as we head into center fingerprintable statue, and this will allow us to just finish off with 1 more flirt. We're in a really good position.
We don't even need the last flirt. That's the print and the inspects, and the shot comes off. Just 1 too many missions from that spot. I think if you had gone to either of the other statues and then just flirted at the end, that would have probably been the safer play.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, went to the center, got the print, got shot, and we are even at 7 coming out of Tayen.
And now we go into 2 singles from Pofke. It'll be Modern followed by Veranda, and it's basically first person to sweep a venue at this point, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Let's see what Pofke is able to do from the spy side of Modern in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Well, we'll take a short path over to window. We're going to time add.
Yep.
It's a green from Pofke. So I think time ads have been honestly pretty effective so far in the set. So I'm glad to see him go for it. Even here on Modern, where the clock start time is pretty high, the venue is very large, and we've seen both of these players, frankly, especially C-Rams, really take some of these sets down to the wire. So the extra time will not go to waste as we go into statues for a quick inspect to start off the game.
Interesting to see Pofke heading to the bar early on, only to decide to bail on that plan when a few too many people entered before us. Knew he would have had to be waiting there too long, or would have had to demand in order to make good time at the bar, and just decided it wasn't worth it, went to statues instead.
Gonna head out here and pick up our first flirt. A little bit of a weird conversation entry, but we want to get close, especially given that we've had a little bit of difficulty hitting those greens, but it doesn't matter, our ST leaves. So Pofke
This
is
all that time. So mean this set.
Yeah, Modern, you think of like trolling like this happening on balcony, you think of it happening on gallery. Modern is actually extremely vulnerable to your selection target not playing nice because the venue is so large, all the pads are so spread out that it can be extremely damaging. Pofke is eyeing up this ambassador. We're going to go for double walking block. No, the timing is not right. The laser is not right. But here comes the ambassador back to us saying, oh, sorry, were you looking at me? I'll come hang out.
Yeah, very, very long walking distances on this venue, but that bug was just far too exposed to go for, I think, especially with the sniper angle that C-Rams was holding.
This is, by the way, our first and only bar venue in the set, unless we go to overtime. So it'll be interesting to see if the players try to take advantage of that. We definitely see the highlight tracking for bar coming out from C-Rams, and Pofke's been avoiding it so far. That's why he's able to wander around with an inspect and no glowing outline. We'll go to pick up a fingerprint off of this book, but it's difficult and we don't hit it. 2.5 minutes, even with that time ad, and our progress is a single pair of inspects and a single book from a bookcase.
Yeah, it's not a good situation as far as progress is concerned. There's our first flirt. Green, though, brings us up to 51%. We have seen not as many green flirts as one would normally expect to see, but this one does hit, so there is a chance to get it done in 2. Blue book in hand as well is likely going to be useful moving forward. Maybe not. It's just going back.
2 minutes on the clock as we're sitting here. This bookcase, I don't think we're going to try an animation. That doesn't sound like Pofke's style, especially at this point in the game on this venue with this laser. So the book's going to go back innocently. We burned a lot of time to not get that print. And honestly, we could go time out again.
Yeah, it looked to me like he was trying to use that book put back as an excuse to re-enter the conversation with the seduction target, but seduction target steps away, so that burns a lot of time as well. Here we step into the statues next to the seduction target, so we should get both a flirt, but not a green flirt, unfortunately, so that brings us to 85%, as well as the inspect to get us up to 1 mission completion. But with only 1 minute and 15 left on the clock, Pofke is in a very difficult position time-wise.
Yeah, this is a really, really tough position. At this point,
we need this bug.
Pofke
does take the bug. The lean was visible. The arm, not so much. But C-Rams did not get a good look at it. There's the flirt done as we head back into blue bookcases. 45 seconds. 1 mission to go.
We can do this. We can do this. I don't know where we're going, though.
Yeah, that bug was a massive help. I assume Pofke is just taking the book away, trying to make it a little bit less obvious as to where the book came from, and then bring it back to either red or green.
We're watching this double agent. We're hoping that she goes to a conversation, but she's not. She's not. So Pofke abandons that immediately. 17 seconds. We need to slam this book, and what? It's
going to be overtime at this point.
There's no time. We can't. Yeah, there's going to be overtime.
Into red. A little bit of a bump on the way in, just slams it as fast as possible, tries to get out of there. I don't think
You don't have a
C-Rams saw it. Pofke was under the radar this whole game. C-Rams, I think, maybe swung around to take a look at it at the end there, but it wasn't fast enough. Pofke is able to get the second spy game through at the second last venue.
And I think C-Rams maybe swinging over there at the end. I think C-Rams' chance to win that game was on the bug. It was on screen, the lean was visible, but there's just so much to watch on this venue. We didn't see it for real, or we would have been more ready to go on overtime. Very difficult spot to be in, but a great game from Pofke here at the very end of a very long set, managing to go up to match point with 3 games to go.
That ambassador's entry to our conversation circle with C-Rams was an absolute gift. If that didn't happen, I don't think there's any way C-Rams is able to get that done. I mean, Pofke, rather, is able to get that done. But they did. And now they're ahead going into the sniper side of Modern in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
C-Rams playing this moment. Excuse me, it's not match points. It's first to 10, not first to 9. So Pofke's still a ways to go as C-Rams steps into Bookcase, which has become much more popular on the back half of this set.
Indeed it has. There's a quick pickup at the blue bookcase. Ooh, animation transfer on the green this time around. And Smallman is small enough that the arm is basically hidden behind the couch from that angle.
Yes, it is. And we managed to find our seduction target in this conversation, which is great luck for us. That is exactly what we need.
So that's 34% on the flirt and blue microfilm in pocket very early on in the game. We can sit on this for a long time as we wait to find the opportune moment to put this microfilm back in one of the other bookcases. So we can wait on that for quite a long time.
Yeah, C-Rams, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we've seen C-Rams have some pacing concerns, I guess, in some of these games. We'll see if that comes back to us, but so far, at least, it's a nice way to start this game off if we can pick up this timer flirt, and seduction target doesn't bail on us again.
There's the timer flirt coming off. Another white test brings us up to 68%. And now we get moving. It looks like we're heading off to the bar to possibly pick up a delegate, but while there have been a few other people here relatively recently, right now it's pretty empty. So we'll be able to get this done quickly, but also will be fairly noticeable while we're doing it. Oh no, just a little bit too far away from the seduction target. It's 99% on the flirt. That hurts. Still in conversation with the double agent, of course, so all is not lost in this conversation.
Banana bread.
Interesting that we sent the delegate away before we took the contact. That seems like an odd decision.
Minute 52 on the clock. Here comes the transfer. It's a white test, but we're Smallman. Oh, it's seen.
It got caught. It got caught. Pofke was on top of things. Now it's match point. 9-7 is the current scoreline. Pofke in the lead, heading into the spy side of Veranda. This is a very, very difficult place to get a spy win through on any 5 of 8. But he does have the sniper game coming up after this. He just needs to win one of these next 2, and Pofke maintains their spot in Grandmaster. Let's get this last venue underway. Pofke on the spy first in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Pofke now 2 chances to win.
Oh, that's awkward. It's okay. We got out of there as quick as possible. Still got the flirt, so 51% off of that, and we are no longer facing the wrong way in conversation.
Conversation, 4 minutes on the clock. We have 51%. Pofke picking up a very well-deserved green flirt at this point. Veranda 5 of 8, not nearly as punishing as Library 5 of 8, so Pofke with a decent chance to try to pick up a spy win. But we are staying in this conversation for a while, maybe looking for a chance to play with this ambassador.
It looks like we're trying to get in for another flirt here. Double agent in conversation as well.
3 minutes 30.
Oh, it's a purloin. It's a purloin first. It's a white purloin first, in fact. There's the contact in order to distract. It's a real contact too, so you'll take those. The flirt was a white test, so that's contact done, purloin done, 85% on the flirt. Pofke is moving fast.
CRM sees it. The little camera pause trying to work out what happened. He doesn't know who took it, but he knows who didn't. The whole left side of this venue is getting low lit, and Pofke has traded a purloin for maybe 4 or so low lights. I think it's a pretty good trade for him at this point.
Yeah, I think you'll take that as Pofke. You'd probably like to have a couple of more missions done by the time you took that trade, but you're still going to take that trade.
On 2.5 minutes, Pofke, I think, here in a really good position. It's 5 of 8, but we have time to do some prints here. There's a print at red, I believe, that just got left. I'd love to see Pofke go for it after just a minute as the ambassador comes away and that print fades from CRM's memory. The party.
Pofke, I believe at this point, is just trying to shed some heat, is just going to hang out here for a little while CRAMS gathers some other suspects.
2 minutes 8 on the clock. Ambassador comes back to this red bookcase. This is not really what we want. We could try for some kind of weird bug here, but it's really exposed. And so Pofke really just being very still. I think we're burning off too much heat at this point. And
that was way on camera. That was so very on camera. CRAM's got a good look at it. The shot comes off. One last game. It's going to be Pofke on the sniper to take the win versus CRAMS on the spy to force overtime.
As a reminder, overtime, single venues until there's a venue sweep. So we could be here for a while, Tobo, but let's finish off regulation. Pofke with a chance to take the entire set. CRAMS on the spy side of Veranda in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Here we go. CRAMS needs a win from the spy side of Veranda to keep this game alive. And once again, the seduction target being a massive troll.
So we're in an empty conversation to start things off. This is fine, and we're seeing Ambassador leave a print at that back statue. CRAMS, I would really love to see take advantage of that. Ambassador comes to us.
Oh my god. Oh my god, the Ambassador. That's a free bug.
It's tricky. It is kind of visible. It's kind of sussy, but we're live for now. We're live, and that's what matters. And CRAMS now has a hard tell to try to plan the rest of this game around.
Pofke was mid-rotation trying to get a good angle on that while the bug was coming off. I don't think they were able to see anything of it. I'm pretty sure that bug came off cleanly. We're able to get a print and a pair of inspects here. CRAMS is in actually a really, really good spot so far on this game. They still need another hardtail, mind you. It's certainly not done yet, but that is a huge start.
3 minutes 10 on the clock. We passed by the Ambassador. We don't really need that at this point. But this is great. The only thing I'd love to see is maybe let's get some flirt progress, right? CRAMS has been in these situations where we end up with timing issues at the end of the game. Let's make sure we avoid those and take advantage of a really good start.
CRAMS on the way to their seduction target to get this flirt started with 2 minutes and 45-ish on the clock. There's the first flirt is a white test for 34%. Not ideal, but you will certainly take it at this point.
Yeah, and CRAMS, I wouldn't be surprised to see CRAMS timer flirt this. I really think the important thing, though, is we need to be looking out for that second print. Because if we get down a veranda to like a minute 10 left, and we don't have that second print, it's going to start to get real weird really fast. We might have to swap, and you know how that is.
Indeed it is. The Ambassador not playing all that nice, though. They're just sort of walking around, briefcase in hand. Briefcase is down now, so we might be able to get something off that, or relatively close at least. There's the timer flirt coming off. It's another white test, brings us up to 68%, so we're going to have to be very conscious of our positioning going into the last one. Not going for the briefcase on the way out with a minute and 39 to play.
No, but there's going to be a print on green books, and I think this is a good choice. As yeah, we're going to finish off inspects first, then we can slide over to the bookcase, take the print. But pearls could make this really weird.
Those could make this weird indeed. It's going to be a difficult print at the green bookcase if we decided to take this. It's an unusual situation.
But we can get the
But at
flirt.
least we'll be able to get the last flirt here either way.
Pearls did not zero cycle on us. The flirt's going to be close. Okay, we get
It's the flirt. That's 3 missions down.
We get it.
Hits the print. 4 missions down. Contact available.
That print was for the match. Absolutely. I mean, we still have to win, but all we need now is a contact.
All we need now is a contact, and we're going to overtime. C-Rams. C-Rams on the verge of finding that necessary win on Veranda 5 of 8.
For the promotion to Grandmaster, here comes the contact. We're in conversation with Double Agent. We can let this cook for another 10 seconds or so, but if the Double Agent leaves, there's the contact.
There it is.
Pofke
What's the reaction from Pofke?
This is for the set.
I don't think he's going to shoot.
Where's the shot?
I don't think he shoot. I think C-Rams got away with this, and we're going to overtime. We are going to overtime. All right, here's how this is going to work. Pofke is top seed, so Pofke is going to pick a venue first. They're going to play 2 games on that venue. One is Spy, one is Sniper. If we split it, C-Rams picks the next venue, we go again. And we keep doing this until somebody is ahead by 2 games.
Banana bread.
That's how this is going to work.
That's right. And
As soon as someone is ahead by 2, the match is over.
And the bans are still bans, so we can't pick into Redwoods or Balcony, but everything else is fair game. So we can pick into anywhere else, and it's going to be now first to 11 on this first one, but it's ahead by 2. Ahead by 2 is where we got to go.
And we're starting out on Ballroom. Pofke's pick, and Pofke spying first in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I will point out, I think these players split every single venue in this set.
Technically not.
Okay.
I think the 2 spy wins near the beginning were back to back, but I think and also at the end there,
Modar
we
and
had
Veranda.
yeah.
Okay, well, Pofke here starts off with a green flirt, 51% on Ballroom, couple of highlights jammed up here at the statues, very full conversations, but the statue highlights are obviously not in them, so not going to pull that fake contact yet at this point. Double Agent is at bookcase, selection target leaves, so Pofke's not going to get a quick 2 flirt, 2 minutes 50 on the clock. Pofke has not gone for the time ad that's been so effective elsewhere in this set. C-Rams keeping a close eye on a lot of the party, but there's still such an open-ended idea of how this game might go.
Yeah, if the selection target's going to step away when you're planning on doing a timer flirt, you're probably glad they did it relatively early on. Gives them a chance to, I guess, come back to you. But this time we red flirt them to get them moving again. I think we might be trying to set up Rocker with as much suspicion as possible right now.
This is a very different game from what we saw from Pofke earlier. This is a very different game. If that red flirt was actually intentional, we are in a very different world. We will be offered a drink, and Pofke's going to think about it for a second and then reject. So I am tempted to agree with what you're saying, that Pofke might be trying something very different in overtime.
Into the blue bookcase as we go. Pulls it out very quickly.
I don't know about this play from Pofke. I mean, the party is not that active. Like, this could be seen. We do walk along this back line. We don't quite go around Damon. We end up on the back side of this painting pad. If we try to direct transfer this book again, I mean, Pofke got pinged for that on Tayen. Is it
I
gonna
don't
happen?
know. The fact that we
Here
got
comes the
away
transfer.
from the blue bookcase without dying with that kind of speed, I think, means that the book getting taken out wasn't actually seen. I'm pretty sure Pofke's clean here. Book goes away. That's transfer done. He's not clean. C-Rams takes the shot and went from Pofke having match point to now C-Rams having match point.
C-Rams has won 3 in a row at this point, I think.
Yeah.
To try
Yeah,
to
they have.
this step back. Good
So that's
shot
the
there.
position we're in now. Second game of Ballroom. C-Rams on the spy side with a chance to lock it down and advance to Grandmaster next season in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Playing as Salmon, we will blend into a bit of the scenery. Could be relevant if we try one of those nasty bugs. And the ambassador is almost at a... C-Rams is taking a journey through this venue right now, but we do end up in conversation with the double agent. 3 minutes 15 on the clock. Seduction target at windows as the rest of the party settles down.
I don't think we have any thought of taking this contact right now. I think we were just trying to chase down the seduction target, and we're very sad when they landed at windows.
100%. We are down to 3 minutes, and we are no talking.
Hello. Oh, I thought C-Rams was going to take a bug there when he started moving, but probably wisely decides to peel away before that happens and just go for the flirt instead. A green test for 47%. Sorry.
There are characters you can probably try to take that bug with. Salmon would not be one of my top picks, but we do get that flirt. And now C-Ram's going to be heading over to statues, it looks like. Yes, we will. Side statues. I wonder if we'll see a swap in this game. That would be a lot of fun. But we're going to start off with what is likely a pair of inspects.
Indeed, that is where we start. 2 inspects. Nice and early on. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play. And another innocent conversation. C-Rams hasn't made bad time, but hasn't made good time either.
2 minutes on the clock as we wait to... Okay, Flirt's gonna walk away.
That's such a weird, unfortunate situation where the seduction target lands in your conversation circle, but because they're not trying to talk, they're trying to do briefcase things, you can't technically... Oh no, that's sad.
Okay, well, C-Rams is having a tough time here. We will join our seduction target finally. That'll be an 81% flirt. But tough scenes here on Ballroom.
Yeah. And as long as you get better than an 18% flirt, you're going to be fine from here on out. So as long as you're not trying to flirt from practically across the party, you're going to be able to get it done in 3. Back into statues we go to finish up this inspect. That's a swap! That was not an inspect, ladies and gentlemen. That was a swap. 1 minute to play. Swap done, inspect done. What does Pofke see?
Nothing. Pofke sees nothing. There's no reaction whatsoever. It's just this super still EU laser. Are we gonna even take this stealth highlight? Like I'm so confused. 45 seconds is still not easy to finish. We're not in conversation with
Pofke just missed it. It's not on camera anymore. I mean, it's technically on camera, but it's not on camera anymore. I think he just didn't see it.
Move! We have to go contact. We have 30 seconds, C-Rams.
Here's the contact.
And go flirt.
Banana bread.
Okay, there's the contact. We need to find the seduction target immediately.
Seduction target comes to
Now
us.
the shot goes
Pofke
off.
on top of things.
We're going to double overtime.
That stressed me the heck out. I thought Pofke missed the swap. Maybe it was just down to 2 and he didn't have to move because he knew who he was watching.
So we're at 10-10 in this set.
Oh my god, it's Terrace.
It's 3 of 7 Terrace. That's where we're headed as these players try desperately to sweep a venue. Pofke probably not going to be as comfortable here on Terrace. It's not a venue he's known to really enjoy. So this is C-Ram's pick. Let's see what happens. Pofke starting off on the spy side. Sweep takes it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Spawning at the bar. This is going to be a very early delegate grab.
That's very dangerous because you can end up in that weird situation if you don't time that take control right where you can't request. There's that bug in SpyParty. Pofke, I was very scared of what was going to happen there. Timed it okay, but we have a drink now in hand. We don't do anything weird with the ambassador, and we are cross conversation from the Russian target as well as in conversation with the known double agent.
I actually like this move, playing as close to the center of the conversation as possible, so you don't have too bad of a flirt. It's 22% off of the white test, so it's still pretty bad, but you're really not going to get flirt paired from a position like this.
2 minutes 27 on the clock, and we are just gonna play this really slow as Pofke. We're gonna look to set up a hard 50-50. We're gonna try to win the game that way. We're not doing infinite balcony for tie breaks, but we are here on 3 of 7 terrace.
Which is also a challenge. Looks like we're just waiting for the timer flirt, which is not necessarily the best idea from this particular position, but we are going to take the timer flirt. It is a green off the second one to bring us up to 57%. So we cannot 3 flirt from this position. If we get closer, we'll be able to 3 flirt on a green. Other than that, it's going to be 4.
Banana bread.
There's the contact. We got neutral light right as it was happening.
Yeah, and a low light there onto Twin, probably for that path. I mean, C-Rams has to be working really hard here, right? It's the C-Rams pick. He does not want to lose this sniper game, but Pofke's not making it easy because the party's just been kind of static. And okay, a static party is easy to control, but it's also really nerve-wracking because you're like, what am I missing? What am I missing? As Pofke heads into bar and will pick up another delegate.
If you're wondering what's going on with these highlights, this is C-Rams tracking the people who are going to the bar with highlights and then neutralizing them once their delegate timer runs out, basically.
We're here with the seduction target. We're a little bit closer. A green flirt will probably finish this, and there it does. That's 2 missions done. We just need 1 more. Statues are going to be really tough at this point. Delegate's the obvious play.
I don't think it's going to be statues. That's too much. Too much suspicion. We don't have the first even, and there's no center statues available to get it all done in one visit.
We're fake
back
delegated.
to the bar. I
We've
think
been
this is
fake
going
delegated to by Duke. This is 100% what's happening. And Pofke's trying to set up this coin flip for C-Rams, and C-Rams is just going to have to pick somebody. That's all it's going to come down to.
I think if it's a 50-50, he's going to take the assumed green. There's the countdown. He does not take the assumed green. Shot comes off on Pofke, and C-Rams is able to get themselves another match point.
Yeah, really nice stuff there. You know what it may have come down to is just Duke was not in for contact, and Queen was. And if that's all that it came down to, and C-Rams was able to pick that up, and that's how you win terrace, right? You have to know.
Yeah, you have to know which of these people have a real contact. This is why so many people will so often do multiple contacts on this venue to try to get as many people with a real one as possible, because the sniper knows exactly who the double agent is on this venue.
All right, well, C-Rams, that has to feel good. You're getting your momentum back, and now you have a spy game to play on terrace for promotion to SML Grandmaster. 3 minutes 15 on the clock to see how this all shakes out. Tova, take us away.
Let's get this done in 3, 2, 1, playing it. C-Rams on the spy.
Slow, silent opening here. Double agent walks right past us. Seduction target is at statues. Red dress is also at statues. As Pearls goes to bar. So a little bit of activity in life in the party. You like to see it, but not a lot from C-Rams.
Well, other twin being the highlight twin could be very useful moving forward here. Absolutely did this on purpose with the other twin being the seduction target, and C-Rams obviously picking a twin themselves.
Yeah, it's interesting that C-Rams has picked Terrace for overtime, despite having not picked it for the main match. It wasn't banned or restricted or anything. C-Rams may be thinking, hey, I've got you know what, this is where I want to be at the end of a long, long match. I don't want to play like another game of library or something. And I think that makes a lot of sense. We go up to 35% on the flirt. Pearls are just standing on top of the ambassador. Red dress at bar, as well as having been to statues, and we'll head into bar as well.
Yeah, it was a bit of a distant first flirt, but the green certainly made up for it. Into the bar we go. There's the delegate.
It'd be so fun to try for a bug here. C-Rams, I think, is well aware that that's not an option. As we join conversation with the ST and the double agent. Far away from the ST, though. This is rough. We do green flirt up to 64%.
Yeah, it's not that far away, but if once your first one only brought you 35%, you'd ideally want to be a little bit closer for the second. There's the contact coming off, lets off a duo of lowlights, which isn't too bad, all things considered. So we've got the contact done, 64% on the flirt, which does need a green to get it done in 3.
Contact. Take this contact. It's worth it. The DA just switched conversations.
Yeah, I think there were a couple of extra people out of conversation, but C-Rams didn't even have them on camera. I don't think he even has the double agent in his mind anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's the delegate. Bit of bouncing on the way through, which was a little bit awkward.
Both Pearls and Red Dress can be low lit for that, but Pofke not going to do it.
Not able to hit the green test on the third flirt, so there's going to have to be a fourth. 52 seconds left to play.
Is this delegate going to come off?
It might not. The bar was a little bit too busy.
Oh, there's no Purloin. I don't know. I might have missed the expired trigger or something, but no Purloin comes off. We have to pick up another delegate with 27 seconds left. This is rough.
Indeed it is. So this is going to be the flirt getting done, and then almost certainly delegating to our seduction target. That is exactly what happened. We're following!
Bar? I'm sorry? No.
That is not what I expected to see.
No.
I think we're just trying to body block for it a little bit. It's not going to happen. The shot comes off, and we've got another round of overtime up and coming.
Triple overtime, everybody. Here we go. This is how you get into Grandmaster.
Well, with two really sniper-heavy players, this kind of thing can absolutely happen. And you were saying that C-Rams probably didn't want to go to library again. We're going to library again.
It's a disaster. It's a nightmare.
Pofke on the first on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We got here Cowboy on the spy side, and we are going to start off with an early flirt. All right, that's pretty nice to see. It's a good start.
Yeah, nice quick window flirt in the time of chaos. There's no way C-Rams is going to credit that. 46% off of the green test.
You know what's 46%? You know why 46% is important number? Is because it's less than 49%, so who cares what the number is, right?
As long as it's between 33 and 50.
Yeah. All right, well, we're in conversation with our ST again, very far away, but Pofke will pick up another flirt, and this pacing from Pofke is healthy, right? Like, we're making solid, continual progress, which is what I love to see. I'm worried about what we'll see from C-Rams on his spy side. Again, Pofke has to sweep this venue to take the set and remain in Grandmaster. That's not going to be easy to do. So this spy side is also a chance, frankly, maybe to just relax and recover a little bit, right? You're saying, look, this is game number 23 in this set. 23 in this set. This is a quarter of a Nebula set. Like, at some point you say, I'm not going to win my spy game of library. I'm going to chill. I'm going to relax. I'm going to recover a little bit and then go to quadruple overtime. That is always an option as we quote by the ambassador completely off screen.
Yeah, it's always a possibility. I have absolutely seen people in the middle of a competitive match load into library, park themselves in a conversation, and go to the bathroom and get a drink of water. I have seen this happen.
All right,
that is not what Pofke is planning on doing this time around. We've got 71% on the flirt. We've got a fingerprint in pocket now. So Pofke is doing their thing. Not rushing, certainly, but definitely moving.
Selection target bails on us on this conversation, so we don't get to get this flirt. The double agent is here, though, with 2.5 minutes on the clock. You should be starting to think about taking it. It's not a terrible contact as far as library goes. Pofke will take it with a white contact.
Banana bread.
What's the reaction of the contact? It's 1 low light, 2 low lights, and does take the third, actually. Bit of a slow reaction to the contact, but still gets 3 out of it.
Yeah, the time we have a print in hand, which is very fun. The flirt progress is okay, so Pofke has a lot of ways to finish this game. I'm not at all worried. We could go get the print off of blue books. We could go to statues and then go to blue books. We could take this bug. No, okay, we're not gonna do that. We were extremely on camera. We'll go to side statues instead and pick up a highlight. This print could get weird with sick being there, but even still, I feel like this is as far as library games go, a pretty reasonable place to be in.
This just in courtesy of chat, by the way. It appears that Pofke was actually the one who picked second in overtime just because they lost track of the rules.
Yes, this is going to be CRAM's pick on library on the sniper side. And Pofke with 1:20, not making a move to that blue bookcase for the prince, and Teal will take it. So Pofke in a tough spot to finish here. Not going to be easy.
1:05 left to play. We just have the 1 mission completion, but a lot of progress beside. Pofke going to the time add window to add some time. Green test was how we're going to do. Oh, goodness! I have concerns.
Wasn't on camera, really. It wasn't on camera. We're fine.
We're not dead. So there's that.
That doesn't work, by the way. That doesn't.
No, it does. It did it again. No, it didn't work again.
That one was on camera.
You can't do that as a fast character.
Yeah, and there's the shot. CRAMS.
That was on camera. It's CRAMS who again finds the way through from the sniper side, but trying to close it out from the spy side of library is a tall order.
Well, let's see what CRAMS is able to get done on game 24 of this set. CRAMS on the spy side playing as Salmon in 3, 2, 1, playing it. If you have to spy library against Pofke for promotion to Grandmaster...
On game 24.
On game 24 of your set, like, what are you even doing? Like, how do you even think about playing this game? You already had to play on library once. So you have a little bit of history here, but like I don't even know how you begin aside from getting a green flirt with your seduction target. That's a nice way to start. But,
yeah, that is how you begin apparently as CRAMS. You go into conversation with your seduction target, you get a close green flirt, 51% on that, and now it's into the statues we go for an early highlight as well as these 3 inspects.
We could try some kind of rush here. I mean, we opened up with the green flirt, but inspect is not the place where I'd expect to see a rush like have a middle. Yeah, another.
It wasn't on camera, but there was that very slight animation break as we weren't able to get the 3 inspects done quite fast enough. But again, not on camera, no harm, no foul. Back into conversation with the seduction target and double agent brings us up to 71% on the flirt.
No swap taken either. Totally fair. This isn't looking like much of a rush, which I think is probably the right call. But even still, like CRAMS has to be thinking it's time for quadruple overtime if I can't find something pretty quickly.
Banana bread.
Yeah, it's not a rush, but we're still making pretty good time. There's the contact done. And with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to play, we already have 2 missions done and most of a third.
Pofke ended up taking 1 low light off of that contact. And we finish off flirt. So yeah, 3 minutes to find 2 hardtails on library with a full party. If you have to play library for promotion, this is the right place to be in.
Yeah, this is not a bad position at all for CRAMS.
What are we doing over here? We're heading into books. Books have not been friendly to us. But this is library, so maybe it's the right place. We're very on camera though, so I think trying to do anything really weird with this book, yeah, we don't get the print. It's going to be really hard.
Yeah, I think probably that was the main idea with this book, was trying to see if we could get this difficult print. Didn't wind up happening, so in all likelihood, especially after 3 cycles. Oh! I don't know if you're allowed to take that out after 3 cycles.
Does Pofke? I don't know.
Is a good question.
We have this book in hand. If CRAM's animation transfers, I'm going to scream. But we always have the option of direct transferring here, and that would still leave us pretty good from a pacing perspective. I wouldn't want to try to go for prints, because I think Pofke maybe has shot us for a difficult print at one point. So just
bread.
dump this book. Oh, interesting.
Little banana split is often nice to see. Do they get credit for it? It does not look like they do. Pofke had a couple of lowlights to take before they swung over, so shenanigans? I call shenanigans. We have shenanigans. I don't know. I think that might not be quite the right position.
CRAMs, this is for your promotion. You can't do this. This is not okay. This is not allowed.
The highlight is sticking out. The highlight is sticking out. The shot comes off. I admire the gumption, but it does not work out.
Oh. Okay.
A bold move, to be sure.
We're going to quadruple overtime, everybody.
We certainly are. This one, Pofke's pick, and Pofke's pick is Gallery, 4 of 8 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Goodness. All right. Well, Pofke on Gallery, I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, we have seen CRAMs, honestly, not on that library game, which was I thought was excellent until we made some choices. But on the other games, you know, pacing has been an issue. Gallery is a good place to try to exploit that. Pofke, I think, is very comfortable on Gallery, so this all sounds good. We're setting up for a bug on this Ambassador if he paths the right way. We'll see what happens. Doesn't look like there's going to be any opportunity for it. We do pick up 34%, though, on the Flirt.
And this is a venue where you really do want to make sure you get your Flirt squared away, because if things wind up taking a bit too long, your seduction target can absolutely cause you some serious problems. This is just straight book cheese.
Do it. We're wheels. We're the perfect character. I love it. This is exactly right. 3 minutes on the clock, and Pofke is saying, "Look, you know, I'm here to win this venue, and win this set. And you know what? Sometimes you got to make plays." And
yeah, I absolutely approve of this strategy at this point in time. Into the statues we go. The least suspicious one on the venue is where we go first.
The trouble with going to the least suspicious statue first is it means that you have to finish inspects as something that isn't the least suspicious statue.
Yeah, but the reason it's such an unsuspicious statue is that you can't really swap there. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to swap, you want to be at the other statue anyway.
Of course, and I'm hoping we see a swap here from Pofke. It would make me very happy. But first we're going to head outside. There's nothing for us here, so if we time add, CRAMs is not zoomed in. And the Ambassador's outside. We can't time add here.
No, we can't. Pofke realizes this. This is a very early second statue visit.
Yeah,
this feels a little bit bold. Although a green swap here could be a pretty wild maneuver.
All right, well, Pofke's not going to make that pro gamer move just yet. We do, however, have the transfer and the inspect done. We really don't need a swap as the thing because of how good that transfer was. So we just come in here and flirt contact and just win the game. Like, I think this makes a lot of sense. We don't need to play a silent game at this point.
Agreed.
And I like the early contact, yes, because then you can't shoot on contact.
Yeah, I completely agree. Contact done, second flirt done. 68% is not what you would like to see for exactly this reason. The seduction target steps away, that spot gets filled, and it's not that easy to make sure that you get nice and close for this last flirt. I really like Pofke stepping away from that situation. It was a little bit too risky that C-Rams might credit you for a bug that you didn't take.
Yeah, we're just waiting to see where seduction target settles. It's going to be the briefcase.
This is what I was talking about. This is why you want to get the seduction target squared away as early as you reasonably can, because it is very easy for the seduction target to do something like this and just wind up almost unbuggable. We are going to give chase out to the front of the venue. In this situation, we're going to tuck in right next to them.
We win.
Yep, just realized that they couldn't be too far away and slid over. It was really suspicious, but it didn't get caught. Pofke in position to win it from the spy side of gallery, and that's exactly what happens. Pofke has themselves another match point, this time from the sniper side.
A great game from Pofke. It all started off with that transfer at the very, very top, and then despite some shenanigans from both the ST and the Ambassador, we make it all work.
Pofke with that last pass.
Look, it was a white test. We had to move over. We wouldn't have won. Like, that maneuver was required, right?
No, it wouldn't have been if you just got next to them immediately.
All right, well, we're heading into game number 26, and this is where C-Rams, now back against the wall, has to take a spy game to bring this to quintuple overtime. Now, remind you, C-Rams took a spy game on Veranda to bring us to overtime in the first place, so he can operate under pressure. This is not going to be easy. Let's see what happens in 3, 2, 1, playing it. 4 minutes that could decide this set and the results of this season.
A little bit of an awkward time of chaos, a bunch of bouncing from C-Rams to get in next to the seduction target. Still winds up getting 51% out of it, despite a party goer being in between him and his seduction target. So winds up being a failed bug attempt, though a fairly free one.
Yeah, this is where we see C-Rams say, look, I need a spy win. I have to be active. I have to be bold. I think the bug attempt makes sense. It's a shame it doesn't take it. That attempt can't take.
If that took, that would have been one of the nicer bugs we've seen in a while.
We're not going to have another chance. Ambassador pads off to the right side of the conversation. Unfortunate for us. And we'll get offered a drink. Are we going to take this per line? No.
Section target steps away as well, so we're not going to be able to get the timer flirt. We're going to the bookcase, it looks like. Maybe to try to do something similar as Pofke, but no. It looks like we're here for the difficult print. Does not take, unfortunately, so in all likelihood, this book just going back where we found it.
We had that difficult print that allowed us to get back in the game on Modern. That was a huge clutch from C-Rams. Not able to make it happen this time. And now with 2 minutes 30 on the clock, C-Rams is in a really tight spot. We will go into statues. We will get highlight here. Yes, we will. And this is not a good place to be in when you are on match and season point.
Yeah, indeed. So a pair of inspects come through, but despite that early progress on the flirt, it hasn't been that quick of a game from C-Rams.
Oh no, this sniper cam.
It's a time ad!
Okay.
It's a time ad, and Pofke's not zoomed!
He's looking, he sees
the
it.
shot comes off!
And
Pofke maintains their spot in Grandmaster!
What a set. I mean, the fact that we ended up 12-14 with these players does not truly describe the chaos and energy that we had in this match. So, like, amazing games from both players, a roller coaster end to end, and Pofke showing that he can still turn up and he can still win sets like this.
What a match. That was an absolute joy to watch.
And an absolute joy to cast, Tobo, with you. And I understand you'll be casting again in just about an hour.
Not me, unfortunately, on the next one. I am a little bit lower on time today, but we are going to have another game for you guys to watch in just over an hour in the same spot. So if you guys have time to come around for that, we'll be very happy to have you.
Yep, that will be That will be
I-
the Sapphire Finals between Calumet and Hornets. So you won't want to miss that. Again, congratulations to Pofke for winning this promotion match. Huge congratulations to C-Rams, honestly, for putting up such an amazing set and for getting really, really close. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more from C-Rams in the coming competitions. So wonderful set, wonderful match. And Tobo, thanks so much for casting with me.
You're very welcome. Thank you as well. It's been a pleasure. If anybody is new here, this game is called SpyParty. You can get it either on Steam or at spyparty.com for $25. If any of you are new to competitive SpyParty and are interested in trying it out, go to discord.gg/SpyParty. There's events happening all of the time for all sorts of levels and a ton of very friendly people who will be more than happy to help you out. As mentioned, there's another cast happening in an hour, same place. Thanks to Nebula for being our host and observer and getting all of this organized. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.